Welcome to the podcast. I'm Max.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mae, and we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
Mae, I'll let you take it off. She has hard copies.
I do have a hard copy. I didn't want to schlep my computer around. Okay, I got a big night ahead of me. We're going to a haunted house.
Blood
That'll be
Manor,
fun.
baby.
Blood Manor. Tribeca,
Is
right?
it Tribeca?
I think so.
Taylor Swift gonna be there?
Maybe.
Let's see.
Probably not. Okay, so today on the pod, we're doing something a little different in the spirit of Hallows Eve.
Okay.
We are talking about why everyone thinks there's razor blades in trick-or-treat candies.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And the real-life Candyman.
Oh, they made the film.
I don't know if it's about this guy, actually.
But there is some truth, not
There
truth,
is
but
some
there's
truth.
a reason why
Yeah.
we have the razor blade
Yeah.
Right.
story. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And so in the 1970s, some lady came out like, hey, we should probably be checking she was like some article, she wrote this article about how we should be checking our Halloween candy and like, blah, blah, blah. If someone's giving you a piece of fruit, it might not be so innocent. And then years later, turns out, I'll get into it, but somebody actually did that.
Not that late.
No.
Not that lady.
Yeah, oh,
No,
okay. Yeah.
no.
But yeah, I wonder if he was inspired by that.
Every time I bite into an apple, outside of Halloween season, there's a part of me that says there could be a razor blade in it.
There could be.
There could be.
There could
Really?
You never know.
That,
there could be.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
To think
Yeah.
Of.
Yeah.
I never
Did you
understood
eat it
the razor
anyway?
blade thing because
Espe-
I feel like it's so
harder.
obvious.
Wait, what?
I just always felt like that was stupid because it'd be so obvious that you'd see someone had stuck a razor blade into the apple.
Yeah.
Like, you can't grow a razor blade inside of it. You could always see where they stick the jelly
No,
inside
you
of
see
a
that
jelly
David
donut.
Blaine thing? The David Blaine thing with the card inside the fruit?
Yeah.
So now that's the card inside the fruit.
Yeah.
It can be done.
So if your neighbor's with David Blaine.
Aware, which is real.
I will say, one of my favorite Twitter memes right now, like the format is like, careful out there. I just found a Glock in my Milky Way, and it's literally like, it's a broken Milky Way. There's just a gun in the middle of it, like a little part of it.
They've
It's
been
like,
doing a bunch of those.
Oh
They've
my
been doing all
yeah.
different ones with
Yeah.
stuff inside
Careful!
the candy.
I just saw a
That's
Kia
funny.
Soul in my Kit Kat bar, and it's like literally a Kit Kat. Look, there's a Kia Soul in the middle.
I haven't seen this. That's funny.
That's a great
Yeah.
one.
It's
That's
good.
really funny.
It's good.
Yeah, I used to think that someone was taking a needle and like injecting my Snickers.
Yeah.
That was a thing too.
Yeah, with more sugar.
Right.
It's also funny too because like I remember my parents would like check the candy, but they would just like dump it all on the kitchen table and just kind of like touch it all a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Like how is that checking for poison?
Right.
It's also still absurd that you had parents that cared for you. I don't know how this happened.
Did you guys have that house in your neighborhood that they would invite? Well, you're not because you live in Manhattan, but like we had a house.
We
that
did
people-
trick or treating though, like
You
a
did?
million apartments. You get so much candy.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
Shoot.
that case, yes, please.
Anyway, but they would invite you inside for cider.
Oh.
Yeah.
The cider house.
No, that's a New
The
England
cider,
thing.
yeah,
Cider
you're just
house
like sitting
rules.
there, and
Yeah.
it's like all spooky stuff, and then they would give you cider, and I'm like, you would think they're trying to
that's
poison
creepy.
kids,
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Sure.
but they
Yeah.
weren't. It was great.
Not poison, just touching you a little bit. That's totally
exactly.
fine.
Just
Just
a
having a
little
little
bit of malaise.
fun.
My favorite houses, like there was like a couple that like they would have like a thing that went up from the upper window in the house, and like they would talk to you and like be like, gotta solve a riddle, and if you got it right, they would slide the candy down to you
that's
like going upstairs.
cute.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
you
was
guys
sick.
are right. City people
Yeah.
are not as
Yeah.
entertaining at all.
Well,
Yeah.
Connecticut, bitch.
Yes. We've been waiting all year for our bid.
Yeah, some of these people in Connecticut in these suburbs, they're like they're prepping.
Yeah.
They're writing the riddles. They're like, no, it's got to be better.
Yeah, imagine writing riddles for little kids.
Specifically for it. Yeah, it was
That's
the right
crazy.
difficulty level as well.
Do you think that they reused
Sure.
some of those and you just forgot about them the next year, or no?
They reused the riddles.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was so hopped up. Who could know for sure? All right, walk us through this.
All right, here we go. So this is a true story. So rainy Halloween night. Rainy, that's nice. Nice touch. 1974. Okay, the children of Deer Park, Texas were out knocking on doors. Ronald Clark O'Brien, an obstetrician. What is it?
Obstetrician?
Optician? What the fuck is that?
What does it say?
Optician.
Optician.
Eye doctor?
Eye doctor? Or maybe just like an eyeglasses
I'll
guy.
look it up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Something with eyes.
It's
All right.
something with eyes.
Yeah. He was out too. He was watching over his kids, 8-year-old Timothy and 5-year-old Elizabeth, as they trick-or-treated in a suburban neighborhood near their home. Joining them was O'Brien's neighbor, Jim Bates, and his young son.
Can't trust somebody with the last name Bates.
No, it's a tough
Oh,
last name.
Yeah.
Opticians advise customers on styles of eyewear that suits their needs.
Oh.
So they're not even a doctor.
not even doctors.
They're just like an eyeglass salesman.
He
This guy's a retail worker.
That is
works at Warby Parker.
That is one of the most professional names.
It's like
for
a beautician. Like you're not a doctor, but
Yeah.
you know the stuff.
I'm a cosmetologist, actually.
All right, so one of the houses the group approached had all of its lights switched off, but the kids banged on the door anyway because they wanted the candy. There was no answer. Either the occupants were hiding or no one was home. Growing impatient, the kids ran off to find another house, but Ronald stayed behind for some fucking weird reason.
Which one was Ronald?
Ronald is the father.
Why would he stay behind, that pervert?
No one's gonna not give my kids candy.
Open up!
So catching up with the others a short while later, Ronald had good news. He produced a handful of 21-inch Pixie Sticks tubes. Remember those that would turn your poop green?
Hell yeah.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I feel like that
a
hell
lot of them.
Did that hell yeah happen before you knew what she was gonna say, or did that
The poop
That
green?
was
No,
very
the poop
fast.
green. The poop green. Yeah, I know about that.
Oh, that was the quickest reaction
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't know about this?
Poop green? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. I was never into like the stuff that was just purely sugar.
Oh,
Like, just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like the Pixie
I like the
sticks.
dots where you had like you know the ones on the paper. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
those
about?
are cool.
Nah, kind of. Yeah.
They were kind of interactive.
Yeah.
They were interactive. It was a
Yeah.
game.
They killed time.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
a big Three Musketeers stan.
Not a
Really?
big
I'm
surprise.
a bitch for nougat. Let me tell you that.
Really?
Heard it here first. Folks. You heard it here. Write it down. That's the episode title. A bitch for nougat.
The worst houses gave out almond joys. Go fuck yourself
no.
with your almond joy.
I came into almond joys at an older age.
That's right.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a mature
Well,
candy.
it's a
It is a
mature
mature
I didn't like it
Yeah.
at the time, but now
Now I'm like, I love a good almond
good
joy.
almond joy.
Mallow bars.
Just read the paper. A little almond joy.
Mallow Mars. Is that what it is? No.
No.
Come on.
What's your favorite
We're
candy?
having two separate conversations.
Nobody's listening. Let's just hang out.
Completely.
Should we just break up into two separate podcasts?
Good luck with yours. We'll take the audience.
All right.
All right.
They're gonna have something to comment out for that one. Let me tell you.
If anyone's still listening, we're going to continue with the story.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
He
See
claimed-
how annoying we are out there?
And it's super gay.
all right.
They're
so,
both valid things that they were saying.
no, it's
Yeah.
true. It's pretty positive. It was like feedback that we should probably take into consideration, honestly. Yeah. Okay, so he comes out with these 21-inch Pixie Sticks. Obviously, it's powdered sour candy.
Wait, 21 inches?
Yeah, you ever seen those big giant
That's like
ones?
3. Wait, that's like almost 2 feet of sugar.
Yeah, I used to have those at the beach, and then I would come home and have my green poop.
21 inches of pixie sticks? That's like 7 inches of pixie sticks. That's absurd.
That's just so much.
To put it in perspective.
To put it in perspective, that's 10 and a half pixie sticks times 2. That's wild.
All right. So Ronald claims, this is the dad coming back to the kids. He's like, turns out someone had been in the dark house all along. So he gives the children all these sweets. To each of the children, one for Jim's other child and another to a 10-year-old boy Ronald had recognized from church as the group walked home. So before bed, so now like night's over, they're going to bed.
I mean, are we going to pretend like that Ronald didn't just poison these kids by himself? I mean, who are we kidding here?
We're gonna
One of,
pretend that.
one of them's his own kid, is that right?
One of them's his own kid,
And then church kid,
church kid,
and then some other
The
kid.
I
other
think
guy's
it-
kids.
Yeah, and some other kids.
Okay.
Whatever. So, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien was allowed one treat from his evening's haul, and he picked his Pixie Stick tube. But the powdered sugar was stuck in the straw, and it wasn't until his dad helped him to dislodge it that he could get his first mouthful. He said it tasted bitter, he complained, so Ronald grabbed him a glass of Kool-Aid to wash the taste away. Less than an hour later, he died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you not see this coming?
Well,
I thought it would.
Yeah.
No, for some reason
Yeah.
I didn't.
You need one to die for the craze to begin.
Oh my god.
That sounded like it was part of those riddles that you were talking about.
Which one dies for the craze?
It has to.
Okay, so did any of the other kids die?
Well, okay. So now we're going to hear from the prosecutor. So he goes, it was just a coincidence that I was working for the police intake that night, says former Harris County prosecutor Mike Hinton, decades later on the phone from Houston. He says, I got a call from the Pasadena Police Department. They told me an 8-year-old boy had died. He was rushed to the hospital, but he had already passed. So wanting to get his investigation underway, this guy Hinton called Dr. Joseph A. Wow, that's a crazy last name. Jacksamix, whatever, fuck. Some guy.
It's Jack
Joe. Yeah. Who is chief medical examiner by Harris County. Jesus Christ. Nearby Harris County. So he goes, I told him the situation, and he asked what the young man's breath smelled like, and basically he said that it was the scent of almonds, which everybody
Cyanide.
knows. Yes, it's cyanide, exactly.
Ooh.
No.
Did you really know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, my mind totally went to almond joy.
No. I mean,
I didn't know that. I was like, wait, what's the thing with almonds?
Well, I assumed cyanide right off the bat just because the powder and the stick. I mean, it makes the most
Right.
sense and reminds me of the Tylenol thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, this was a Tylenol thing, almond?
It was, I don't know if they
Scented?
mentioned almonds, but like
Yeah.
it was
Cyanide,
cyanide
yeah.
in a capsule.
Yeah. So anyway, an autopsy proved the medical examiner's hunch. A pathologist said that Timothy had consumed enough cyanide to kill 2 people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Tests later found that the top 2 inches of the pixie stick had been packed with poison.
Oh my god.
So police officers managed to recover the remaining sweets from the other children before any of them had a chance to dig in. So
Okay.
the other kids had cyanide pixie sticks too.
Oh my god.
And noted that whoever was responsible had used staples to seal the pixie sticks after tampering with them.
Which is
Jesus.
probably what the normal pixie stick company used to close them
Yeah,
up
they're
anyway.
like,
Right. Yeah, literally.
It's like so long
it
ago.
looks
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah.
So apparently that saved another boy's life because they found him in bed with the sweet in his hand, but he wasn't strong enough to undo the staples.
Oh, thank God.
Thank
Oh
God
my
we have a
God.
malnutrition weak kid.
Yeah, right. Kid surviving on candy.
Thank God he's alive.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Right on.
We need strong kids.
Okay, so the police took Ron. Jesus Christ.
Oh, little bit more can't open a stable. That's so bad.
You're not my son.
Oh my god.
All right. So the police took Ronald back to the neighborhood the group had been trick-or-treating in so he could direct them to the house where he had picked up the pixie sticks, but he was stumped. He just couldn't find the house. And he said that he'd never faced the person, he'd never seen the face of the person responsible, that he had just emerged from a doorway and handed him the candy. So investigators were like,
Okay,
No.
so you're a bitch.
right.
Yeah.
So the prosecution they're like getting super frustrated, and they took O'Brien out again and were pretty firm with him. So the tactic worked. All of a sudden, his memory was jogged. He pointed towards the house. The man who lived there wasn't home, so officers went to his place of work, Houston's William Airport, and arrested him in front of his colleagues. The mystery was over. Case closed. That's insane. That they would just do that under the word of some fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
But anyway, so only the man had an alibi. Turns out he was working that night.
Okay.
And his wife and daughter were home and had turned the lights out early as they had run out of candy. So colleagues and timesheets confirmed the guy's story, and this only magnified their suspicions that O'Brien had something to do with it.
No shit.
So the prosecution had also heard that O'Brien was angry at his relatives for not staying up the night of Timothy's funeral, which is odd. I don't get that. Whatever. I should have read this before.
I love. There's nothing better than a Mae episode where she's as surprised as anybody.
Yeah.
When she's reading these, she's like, "No, you think Ronald did it?"
That's not fair. Then it's not fair than what you said to me earlier, where you're like, you didn't see this coming. And it's like, well, neither did you.
I read the first page, and then I was like, copy, paste,
Okay.
erase.
You didn't see the advertisements. You didn't even delete anything.
Okay, so Ronald, it transpired, had written a song about Jesus and Timothy joining the Lord in heaven, and had grown agitated when his grieving family wouldn't stay up late to watch a recording of the performance being broadcast on television. So the prosecution goes, something strange was going on. Agreed.
Yeah.
So soon after, while he was teaching a class at the Pasadena Police Academy, detectives arrived at Hinton's door. That's the prosecution in this case. They had discovered that Ronald had recently taken out life insurance policies on both of his children, who were like wicked fucking young.
Oh my god.
$10,000 per child in January of that year, and then a further $20,000 on each a month before Halloween. So investigators already knew that Ronald owed debts of over $100,000. So that when they found out he had called his insurers to ask about the payment at 9 a.m. the morning after Timothy's death, it was clear that the case was beginning to come together.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Foul play.
Foul play.
Foul play.
Big time.
Who kills their own child?
This guy.
Oh my God. I mean, immediately after he was like, hey guys, I found these pixie sticks. Yeah,
Right,
the
right.
dark house over there gave me them.
Right.
That's
How
so
weird.
That is so. There's nothing worse than poisoning your own child. That I think
Yeah,
might
I
be
think
the
that
worst.
takes the cake.
That might be. It's up there. Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's awful.
So, granted a warrant, a search of the O'Brien's house offered up a pair of scissors with plastic residue attached, which was similar to that found on the cyanide-laced sweets. And O'Brien was arrested and taken in for questioning. About damn time. Mm-hmm. So, as the investigation continues, the detective on the case, the evidence said that the evidence started to stack up against Ronald. It turned out that O'Brien was going to community college and in class would ask his professor questions like, what is more lethal, cyanide or another type of poison?
Oh my God. He's taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of a dose would take out, I don't know, an 8-year-old?
About like 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
If you're the teacher, you gotta suspect something there, right?
Yeah.
When the kids
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
when the students asking a
The
question
next
like that.
class, he's just like, yeah, teach, where do I get cyanide?
Without it being detected.
Excuse me, sir. I'm planning on murdering
Yeah.
a person. So
What's the best way to get away with it?
So another witness who worked for a chemical company in Houston told the police that a man had come in to buy cyanide. What would you need that for?
I'll look up.
Poison.
You can. I'm gonna see. Yeah, but the's got to be some other. Sometimes there's like weird other
like
uses.
a
Like
plant
rat poison
thing,
or
like
something.
a farming thing. But I don't know with cyanide.
For the topsoil?
I guess you called my bluff on that one.
But after going in and
Why would you
asking for
poison the
cyanide, he left after being told that the smallest amount he could buy was 5 pounds. Okay.
That's all of the cyanide.
Oh, cyanide maybe
Yeah.
cleaning? Does that make sense?
No.
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
Cleaning out your insides with poison. Was there a wife?
It's
Is there a
used to
mother?
develop
I don't know,
photographs.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's in.
Seriously?
Yeah, and it's used to make paper, textiles, and plastics. Yeah, it's used for a bunch of like. Sounds like it's used for a bunch of factory kind of like.
Chemical stuff?
Yeah.
But there's no reason that a private citizen should have cyanide.
Well, only if they plan
I
on
mean, if you're
killing.
developing photos, or
Yeah. So is that what so when you go into like a dark room for developing photos, there's just cyanide everywhere?
Yeah.
it's
It's very
probably
dark in
with
there.
other stuff. But yeah,
Feels like I should have known about that because I've spent some time in those places
Dark
in
rooms?
college. Yeah.
Were you a photography major?
No, but I took a few classes.
Oh, cool.
But nobody told me about the cyanide in there. I've been poisoning myself slowly.
The teacher's like male figure.
She's a smart girl.
Okay, so the man from the store said he couldn't identify O'Brien, but he remembered that his customer was wearing a beige or blue smock like a doctor, and O'Brien was an optician, which is exactly the uniform that he wore to work. Which I don't know why you would do that if you're selling eyeglasses.
If you're selling eyeglasses, yeah, I don't know.
by the way, cyanide's also a natural thing that's produced in like plants and stuff.
Oh, weird.
The cyanide flowers?
Yeah, it's
Love
released
it.
in
Oh my gosh, the buds.
cassava,
slowly
lima
dying.
beans, and almonds produce cyanide.
Almonds?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what-
like
oh,
small
okay.
traces of it, but I guess I don't know. Maybe you just collect it all up in a bucket and then poison your kid with it. And
I
that's
guess
how
so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
I didn't do it.
Started to think.
I'm sorry. I'm very glad you don't have kids.
so still, this was like obviously like way before DNA testing and contactless debit cards, and so police couldn't put the pixie sticks in Ronald's hands or prove that he
How
bought
do they
the
need
cyanide.
any more evidence here?
right.
I don't
Well, it's all
understand.
circumstantial.
What
Like,
are
it's
you
like,
talking about? He gave the kid the pixie stick.
Yeah, but they were like, well, we can't prove he didn't get it from someone else.
Yeah, you gotta prove it in court.
Yeah.
I could. This seems open and shut. You give him 5 minutes with Mariska Hargitay in the interrogation room. She's got him dead to rights. I
She's
guarantee that.
Do you know about her mom?
Who, Mariska's?
Yeah.
What happened to her?
Oh my gosh. So her mom was a famous actress, and she was decapitated on the highway.
Oh my
Decapitated
God.
on the
How?
highway. I think she tried to go under like a
Something she couldn't.
yeah, like I don't know, something like that. And I think Mariska was in the back seat.
Oh,
I
why
could
do
be
I think I
making
know
this
that
entire
story?
thing up. I don't know.
For some reason, I don't think you. For some reason, it sounds familiar.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
That's
let's look at it.
horrible.
I know.
Poor Mariska.
I know.
I've
Crazy.
never seen the show. Heard she's good.
You've never seen the show?
Your mom describes every episode.
She does. My mom loves that show. Loves it.
Same.
That's so funny. Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
All right.
Sorry, folks who's watching at home. He can't read, so we're dealing with that part of it.
So anyway, so this fucking guy is maintaining his innocence because they can't prove it definitively.
It's tough to say that that's not definitive, but please continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hinton, the lead detective on the case, remembers his case vividly, obviously. In the decades that have passed, his memories have remained sharp. He says, O'Brien adored the attention. He goes, I think he even loved it during his trial. Fucking freak.
Oh my God.
Yay.
So Ronald entered not guilty plea, with his defense blaming the tainted candy on some untraceable boogeyman, a sick individual using the cover of Halloween to poison unsuspecting children. But friends, family, and co-workers all testified against the man. The press was now calling the Candy Man.
Oh.
So the Candyman is the non-existent, or not?
No. They're saying that Ronald's the Candy Man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And on June 3rd, 1975, it took just 46 minutes for the jury to return a guilty verdict.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For one charge of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder.
Yeah, you know what though? Even more fucked up. It's fucked up enough to poison your own child, but to give them to the other kids that aren't, and the kid that he recognized from church.
Yeah, he was just
Hey, you want one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
That's crazy.
Well, I guess it's
Obviously.
actually, I guess from the criminal standpoint, it's less likely if 4 kids died, because if he just killed one, just the kid, like it's like less.
Right. I think that was his thinking. Like,
Yeah.
if a bunch of kids get poisoned,
Yeah.
then it's like, there's some crazy person on the loose. But if it's just my kid, then it's like, let's look within the family. Which is so fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So he was escorted from the courtroom.
I just would love to see this from the beginning. It's like of the fact that a parent would be like, "You guys go ahead. I'm going to see if somebody's home and see if I can rustle up some candy at this house."
Oh, God.
That alone, guilty.
Yeah. Guilty.
Guilty.
Even if
He could have done it. He could have done it like so much easier too. Like I felt like he made it too obvious. He was like, "Hey, how come no one's answering the door on Halloween?
Yeah.
You go to the next house, kids. I'm gonna figure out what's going on, making a whole scene."
Yeah.
All he had to do was just drop a pixie stick in one of their bags and keep it moving.
Yeah,
Right.
he could have just and the kid would he could have been like, "I don't know where he got that" at the end of the night.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
Dumb.
I'm drinking beers, taking these kids, dragging them around in a wagon.
out here. I don't know what you
Yeah.
want from me.
I love
That would
those
be kinda
parents.
fun.
They're always drinking. They have the gaggle of kids, and that's the 5 different groups of parents together. They're like, "Hey, we're drinking wine and beers in the wagon back here, going
Why
around
not?
town." Yeah, got to.
You got to.
You got
You
to.
simply have to.
Oh, yeah.
That way you don't remember who poisoned your kids.
Yeah. Wait, is that story real about Mariska?
I'm
Or was that a
figuring
fever
out.
dream?
Apparently, it's a rumor that she was decapitated, but the head of the article says it's even worse than that.
Oh my God.
So
Oh
my
I'm
God.
trying to find it.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so before and since the Deer Park poisoning, rumors of dodgy sweets being handed out has always surfaced around Halloween, as we all know. But whether the fear is that the candies contain broken glass and razor blades, or that they're actually ecstasy pills, that would be fun. There is not much evidence to suggest parents actually have anything to worry about. I don't know. I'm definitely
it
gonna
totally
check. Yeah.
depends. Yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing: is it's as always, it's the fuckers that you know more
Yeah.
than it's rarely strangers.
It's the old lady down the street giving out fucking apples.
No,
like a
it's the
bitch.
motherfucker that it's your.
You lived in a grim fairy tale.
Okay, so I
is that
found it.
witch making that stew?
So her wig was knocked off in the car accident,
Okay.
which made everyone think that she was decapitated. But actually, her skull was crushed, and there was partial separation of her cranium, which made it. It says it's more akin to a scalping than a total decapitation.
Oh, God.
And
Poor
wait,
Marissa.
wasn't
And their
Mariska-
dog died in the front seat
Oh,
too.
no.
Oh.
Mariska was in the car, wasn't she?
Yes, backseat.
That's oh my
That's
God.
insane.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
No.
She was
Okay.
hot.
Yeah, she is hot.
Okay.
What was the name of the
Both
actress?
of them are hot.
The mom.
She was a famous actress. What's her name? What the fuck is it? Jane Mansfield.
Oh, she was very famous.
Yeah.
Very famous, very hot.
A lot
Yeah.
of
Very
old Hollywood
scalped.
people had tragic ends.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Marilyn.
Part of the drama.
Guess
Part
so.
of the cocaine.
Yeah. So he's not the only one, though. So in 2000, a man in Minneapolis was charged with putting needles in Snickers bars. Okay, I knew I didn't make that up from nowhere.
Wow.
That he'd handed out to trick-or-treaters, but the only victim he claimed was a teenager who got a slight prick from the hidden sharp object. Okay, thank
Why
God.
just a slight prick?
He just had a slight
he
prick.
didn't die.
He
Yeah.
didn't die.
Oh, I thought like there was like poison and like that was enough to get him. No.
Needle. Yeah.
So, since Timothy O'Brien, there hasn't been a single case where a child has actually died after consuming contaminated Halloween treats, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. So, Ronald's appeal avenues were explored and turned down for nearly a decade after his guilty verdict, so it wasn't until March 31st, 1984, when all routes to survival had been exhausted, and he was finally put to death for his crime.
Fuck
Good.
that guy.
Wait, they put him to death for poisoning his own kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fine. People have done way worse things that didn't get put to death. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Is that not enough for you, Chris?
Whatever. Fine.
Yeah. Well, it's also Texas. Like, they were, like, super
Oh,
slow
it's
to
in
get
Texas,
off.
right? Yeah. Okay.
I feel like you can still get put to death in Texas. Like,
I think it costs more money to
death
put
penalties.
someone to death than to keep them in jail.
really?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Like the
Yeah.
costs, which
But
I
wait.
don't understand how that all works.
Yeah.
But wait, some states still have the death penalty.
But yeah.
Yeah.
There's
They
only
do?
like 5 or 6 that still have
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
I thought that it was, like, outlawed because it's insane. It feels insane.
I'll look it up.
With,
It's,
like,
it's insane because you're never 100% sure. I mean, like
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
I do think that I do think that there are crimes where like you've lost your right to live.
27 states still have the death penalty.
27?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Holy
That's
shit.
more than half.
That's a lot.
What about New York? No.
No.
No
way.
Plan on doing it. I'm
New
just-
York. New York does not have it. The closest state to us that has it is Ohio.
That's pretty
Wow,
bad.
okay. Yeah.
I mean, a case could be made: is it worse to spend your life in prison or be put to death?
There's that.
But then it's an existential, like, what happens after you die kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, I don't think these people are going anywhere good.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I also think a lot of people that get, quote, sentenced to death just live out the rest of their life in
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
takes a long ass
solitary
time.
confinement. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he had a lethal injection, and then outside the Texas State Penitentiary, a crowd of 300 people gathered to hear if the Halloween poisoner had met his end, shouting "trick or treat" and throwing candy.
Oh well, that's
Oh,
not
well, that's a bit
necessary.
much of a
Yeah.
spectacle.
They were throwing candy at anti-death penalty protesters. That's very Texas.
Throwing candy. Yeah, well, yeah.
They're like, "This is delicious."
Yeah.
I get being anti-death penalty, but tough to go protest.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone,
this guy should be
right.
kicking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a complicated issue.
It's a complicated
I think it's one the four of us will solve right now
Yeah.
on the
Let's
pod.
give it a good
Let me tell you
3-minute
something I'm not
conversation.
mad about, the death penalty.
Cool. So he was pronounced dead, and
How'd they do him? Cyanide?
they should have, but it was lethal injection, which I guess is probably something
That
similar.
would be a very painful way to go.
Is it? Oh, I thought the point is that it's not.
The lethal injection sometimes, because sometimes it's like, it takes like a bit of a minute. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then they said, so at this point they had ruled the electric chair was a cruel and unusual punishment, which
Yeah,
seems
that
like
one's tough
it.
as well, yeah.
So I guess lethal injection's better than that.
Yeah, but sometimes it can take like several minutes
What?
to pass.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
gotta-
they really biff it with the dosage.
Ooh.
Especially if you forget to wet the sponge.
Oh God.
That's the electric one. You fucking freak.
So that's the story of the real life Candyman,
I mean,
and we're done here.
No, wait. That's not the razor. What's that have to do with the razor blades?
That was the Snickers.
That was the Snickers.
that was needles.
That was needles.
Yeah.
I don't know about razor blades.
Isn't that crazy? It's just like
Yeah.
the way that.
I guess it's just the general idea.
Okay. I don't know.
More?
Nothing was talked about razor blades or apples or people biting into razor blades with
Well,
apples.
I mean, it's
in
been
them.
like tampered.
Yeah, tampering with
Tampered
candy.
shit.
Tampering.
Yeah.
Just tampering.
Okay.
Tampered.
Is that enough for you?
I don't know. I'm still had.
All right.
I don't.
I mean, that was absurd. I mean, so I guess it feels like it's good to check. But it's,
I mean, I would definitely check.
the moral of the story is check, especially if one of your little friend, your kid's friend's dad was like, "Hey guys, I found some candy. Don't take that.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't take that."
Optician?
Oh,
Yeah,
never
that is
trust a
creepy.
fucker that works at Warby Parker.
No.
That's a we rad guarantee. All right.
Think we were had.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Get out there and start trick or treating with your friend's dad.
So when you were growing up, you just trick or treated within your own apartment building?
Yeah, which was pretty good because
Yeah.
there was like, I don't know how many apartments.
A lot of apartments.
A lot of. That's
Yeah, like 100.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a number on it,
Yeah,
but
it's all-
no, it's like 31 floors. It's like 300 apartments.
Oh my god.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn, you were
No.
cleaning up.
yeah.
I don't remember. Every time I'm trying to think of like city Halloween. Like I think maybe a couple times I've given out candy from my apartment.
Yeah.
But like
I thought a lot of the bodegas and stuff did the trick or treating with
They
the
do
kids.
some-
Oh,
that's
yeah,
nice.
that's
Would
fun.
stop in there and
That's
do
It was
it
great.
that
really
way.
fun.
You know,
Yeah.
one time the night before Halloween, we were going to
Cabbage night.
before. Well, did you know that before the night before Halloween, like in New York City, like stuff happens? Like I was once I was having a vegan dinner.
Wasn't it funny?
I was with my friend Carl. Congratulations, got married. And Mike, and then I think another one of our friends. And this car pulled up next to us, stopped, and they egged the table. They threw eggs.
What?
At the table because we were eating outside, and it was like
yeah.
Wow.
outdoor dining. I didn't get egged. I was like, oop, and then it hit Carl right in like the face. I was like, oh no!
my God.
And like it hit the table, and Mike got a little egg. I was spotless naturally, but yeah, we got eggs. We got eggs.
So just like teenagers, just New York City
some
teenagers.
youths pulled up in a car, and like we could see them laughing, and they stayed there for a while, and we're like, "What's happening?" And they just started eating eggs at us.
Oh my god.
And yeah, we got
How many eggs did they throw at you?
Like several. They missed a few
At least
times.
they weren't frozen.
Yeah,
People do that.
What?
That's just a rock. You're
Yeah,
throwing
just a
rocks.
frozen egg. Yeah.
Damn.
One time, my
Yeah.
dad took us out on Cabbage Night we were doing
fuck is
drive-bys
Cabbage
Yeah,
with
well, you keep
eggs.
saying Cabbage Night.
Like
What's-
Mischief Night,
Oh,
Cabbage
yeah,
Night,
yeah, yeah.
whatever the
Right.
fuck, yeah, the
Okay,
night
yeah.
before
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah.
But we were doing drive-bys with eggs to other people fucking up people's houses.
Oh,
He was like, I'll drive you around,
Wow.
rolled up, and then pop, pop, pop. Gotcha.
With your
We're all-
dad?
Yeah, he drove, and then we just hitting him with the eggs. Yeah. They're doing the toilet paper.
Yeah.
and you egg.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's taking a law into your own hands.
You're Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, you're Batman.
I survived the cyanide pixie sticks he gave us.
Kids now are too much of nerds to do the toilet
Did you
paper, so
egg?
they would be like, no, it's bad for the environment.
Did you ever go
Oh.
mischieving?
I went mischieving, but I think it was a lot of like silly string kind of stuff.
How old
Yeah.
were you when you guys mischief? Like,
High school.
Like 13, 14.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I did anything for Halloween past the age of like 10.
Yeah, I think like.
Or
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
I was never much of a mischiever.
Really? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
5 stars
Yeah.
with a nice note. Look, be mean, but just leave 5 stars.
5 stars, anything you want to say.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
stars and whatever slurs you want to call
we,
them.
we give you permission to do what the internet allows you to do.
All right.
Bye.